Ricky Gervais is done with Hollywood's political correctness and didn't hold back when he called out some of its biggest stars to their faces in the Golden Globe Award. Ricky, British-American comedian and actor, has been openly sharing his thoughts on woke Hollywood for years, especially how much he dislikes celebrities and influencers pushing their political beliefs. For example, Ricky often mocks Hollywood's woke influencers by pretending to be one of them, making fun of how they act like experts on science and politics.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime. It makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
It might seem like a harmless joke, but Ricky's jabs hit hard. He's not afraid to call out these celebrities for being out of touch and manipulative. He even called out the tech giant, CEO Apple, Tim Cook, who he cooked in front of the whole stadium filled with A-listers.
Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama, a superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
In this clip, Ricky Gervais takes a shot at Apple for its hypocrisy, which was trying to get into Hollywood. He points out that while Apple launched a drama series about dignity and doing the right thing, the company itself runs sweatshops in China. He criticizes other major companies like Amazon and Disney for their own issues, suggesting that if a company as bad as ISIS started a streaming service, they'd still do business with them. Ricky tells everyone that if they win an award, they shouldn't use it as a platform for political speeches, since they're not in a position to lecture the public. He mocks their lack of real-world experience and suggests they should just thank their agent and God before leaving, and he does all of this with no filters. The last 30 seconds aren't even a joke. He's literally telling them what to do.
You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did.
And you know why he is telling them without any sugarcoating? Because he does not care. You can't cancel a guy who's not afraid of being canceled. Beside Ricky cooking Tim Cook, he had a lot to say, starting with a jab at the year's controversial films, aka pedophile movies.
Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. I don't care.
He then played Uno Reverse and took aim at Hollywood's lack of diversity, pointing out that many talented people of color were overlooked in major categories, and calling out the Hollywood foreign press for being racist.
Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, fifth time. So,
Tom Hanks doesn't seem too thrilled, but anyway, Ricky is still going to deliver his most brutal roast yet. Here's a clue. It's going to involve a diversity woke agenda.
So, we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. No. It was mostly white people, and I thought, nah, not on my watch. So, maybe next year. Let's see what happens.
If you think Ricky just took a swing at Hollywood in the last bit, you might be mistaken. He's about to drop his biggest bombshell yet, naming someone every Hollywood celebrity avoids. He starts talking about his show, but then takes an unexpected turn.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you?
Epstein is definitely one of the shadiest names out there, with his connections to child prostitution and soliciting prostitutes. Because of this, people tend to steer clear of him. But Ricky Gervais isn't afraid to speak out, especially when it comes to wokeism. Over the years, he's used his comedic talent to craft sharp jokes that reveal the flaws in this mindset. Ricky believes in sticking to entertainment and has consistently used his humor to critique and challenge the issues he sees in woke people.
You can get sued in this country for saying someone's gay if they're not, which is a homophobic law, because you can't be sued the other way around. You can't be sued for saying someone's not gay if they are, which seems unfair, doesn't it? Like, I could go up to Britain's biggest gay and go, all right, Alton, all right, and he'd love that, he'd fucking love that. If that's your game, you want to be top of the pile, so to speak, right?
Despite all his bold comments and jabs at woke's culture, Ricky Gervais definitely gets his share of backlash. For example, some of his remarks on his shows have sparked quite a bit of outrage. But Ricky? He still doesn't care. One of the controversies started when Ricky Gervais dead-named Caitlyn Jenner. Dead-naming is a term from the woke community that means it's considered unacceptable to refer to someone by their previous gender after they transition. Watch how Ricky subtly makes his strong opinions on this topic clear.
And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke, you make your own minds up, right? But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon, it was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now.
Ricky seems a bit baffled while joking about the whole issue, pointing out how woke people are eager to erase past identities to uphold their beliefs. He finds it absurd, especially since Bruce Jenner was known by that name for 58 years, and Caitlyn Jenner's existence doesn't completely erase that past. What's fascinating about Ricky is his mastery of sarcasm, which he uses to call out woke people and show the flaws in their beliefs. In this case, he takes aim at them, saying women don't have penises.
You're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist, so I'd never say that in public, so to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't. As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone because it just happened, so. And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers. So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude.
Ricky Gervais doesn't have a problem with people getting offended, but he does take issue with how woke individuals turn their personal grievances into larger, general issues. He's also had strong words for the woke community, suggesting they lighten up and have a laugh instead of taking everything so seriously. He believes in the facts versus feelings debate and argues that if you don't like the facts, you shouldn't try to change them. Just manage your feelings. So, is Ricky on point with his stance, or is he being too insensitive? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe, like, and share button. And I have one last message from Ricky.
That's it. Good night. Thank you. Please donate to Australia. Have a great time. Get drunk. Take your drugs.